Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Now, the weather's pretty nice right now, but like it is in the Ozarks, that's about ready to change. Tomorrow, there's a possibility of thunderstorms. It may be severe. I think most of the severe stuff is going to be south of us, but could have some thunderstorms. There's even a tornado threat south of us, mostly down into Arkansas. So that's happening. And then temperatures will drop, potential chance of snow after that storm. And then by Wednesday, they're talking 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. And, you know, if we don't get a lot of precipitation, which it's kind of borderline if we get any or not, and we do get the winds Wednesday, the fire risk is going to be pretty high. So it's another roller coaster week. Last week was just really nice. It was sunny and warm every day, breezy, but it was nice and warm every day. This week, it's just all over the board. But that's the Ozarks, right? The Taliban, remember them? Afghanistan? President Trump has demanded they send back the $8 billion worth of military equipment that Joe Biden left over there. Of course, the Taliban has said no. Not going to happen. I suspect part of the reason why that's the answer is because I would guess that a lot of it's probably already been dispersed to all types of groups all over the world, not just the Middle East, but all over the world. And there's probably a whole lot of it that's already been destroyed in one way or the other. If they're out there trying to fly helicopters and they don't know what they're doing, or use tanks and they don't know what they're doing. I'd say that a lot of it's probably pretty banged up, but they said they're not doing that. Over the weekend, the Trump administration announced a strategic cryptocurrency reserve. Now, this has been talked about since the beginning of his presidency, but yesterday it became more serious and specifically announced certain cryptocurrencies that would be included in that. And then, as expected, most of those cryptocurrencies shot up in value. Bitcoin, Ethernet, or Ethereum, sorry, Ethernet, and XRP, all those, they kind of shot up yesterday. So who knows? There's a lot of people saying this is a good thing. There's some people saying that this is a bad thing, that this could lead to, the use of cryptocurrencies as currency. I don't know. It's cryptocurrency. It's as fake as the U.S. dollar. The only difference is that the U.S. dollar, there is actually some kind of tangible paper thing that you can hold in your hand. But still, in the end, just as worthless. The only value is what people give it by having some kind of faith that it exists. So who knows? It seems in the last couple of days that the honeymoon period is definitely over for the Attorney General Pam Bondi, and it's starting to kind of look over for FBI Director Kash Patel, more so with the Attorney General. But a lot of people are starting to put some serious pressure on them of why are we not seeing anything done with the Epstein files? That's one of the things that through the campaign that was promised that these things would be, on day one, we were told on day one that they would be released, and that something would be done about it. Well, it's this back and forth. There's people in the FBI that's preventing it. It's on my desk, but I don't have it. We have 2,000 pages, but we don't, but we do, but it's redacted. And the thing is while certainly releasing them would be I guess a good thing, like I said the other day, why haven't we not seen any movement on any arrests? I suspect nothing's going to end up happening. I would be surprised. I think the most we might see are very low-level nobodies, people that no one has any clue who they are. They'll just get thrown under the bus at the most, and they might be charged with crimes. But, this idea that they're going to start rounding up Hollywood elites and political, figures and all this kind of stuff, very doubtful, I have a feeling, because the thing is as you all know, if you've researched this at all, there are certainly lots of names on the supposed list and the flight logs that are conservatives. They're big names in the Trump administration. Even Donald Trump himself was on the flight log. So I really don't think anything's going to be done. But the point is that a lot of the supporters are starting to see that, hey, this is starting to smell and look just like the old administration. Nothing's being done. It's all big talk. So who knows? I know I've said this in the past before, and so have others, but I think we are definitely getting very, very close to World War III. I think more so now than probably even during the Biden administration. I said early on when, a few weeks ago when it started to take the appearance that there was a division between Donald Trump and Ukraine and Zelensky, and Donald Trump was siding more with Russia. I warned then that what would happen eventually is that Europe would get put into a corner, and they would be put into a situation where they felt they had nothing to lose. And that's happening. And that's a dangerous place for anyone. I don't care if you're the underdog. I don't care if you only have so many tanks and your military budget is only a fraction of what the U.S.'s military budget is. It doesn't matter. If these folks in Europe, these European leadership, if they feel that their position is in jeopardy, that their place and prominence is in jeopardy, that the possibility of Russia taking over parts or all of Ukraine or being right at their doorstep, this is a dangerous position. They may not have the military might that United States or Russia has, but they do have quite a bit combined, and they have nukes, some of them. So it's getting pretty serious. And after Zelensky had the debacle in the Oval Office, where Donald Trump and J.D. Vance kind of slapped him around, he went to Europe and met with all the European leaders. In fact, it looked like a big old NATO summit without the United States. He met with King Charles of Britain. He all of them. He's met with every one of them. They've all come out and pledged support. Some of them are encouraging him to make amends with the United States, but every one of them are pledging, several $billion in weapons to Ukraine. Now, here's the interesting thing. I haven't seen this yet, so I'm right now I'm going to assume. When Great Britain says that we're going to supply you with, $2 billion or $4 billion worth of defense missiles, where are they going to get those? Are they going to buy them from the United States? Is that how this is going to be another type of proxy situation where the U.S. says, "Oh, we're not going to supply weapons to Ukraine, but we'll sell weapons to Great Britain so that they can supply them to Ukraine"? I don't know. I'm just making this up. It kind of makes you wonder. But I think that we're going to see. I think this whole Ukraine situation and Europe situation is getting ready to get much bigger than it is. The idea that they're going to be okay with Russia controlling large swaths of Ukraine, controlling certain mineral rights in Ukraine, potentially controlling all of Ukraine, looking at this as a victory, having troops that close, they're not going to stand for that. I know it's all theater, but I think that's part of the theater, is that Europe is going to make it clear that they will not tolerate this and that they will continue pushing and further this along. And the possibility of some type of false flag, some type of provocation done on the part of the Europeans, I think is becoming more and more likely, or Ukraine through Europe to provocate things so that it would make it more difficult for the United States to back down. Because here's the thing. If a full large-scale war happens between Europe and Russia, do you really think that the United States is going to sit that one out? I mean, I know what Donald Trump says, but the idea that we would sit that one out, I find it very unlikely. Somehow, some way, we would be involved. And even if we continually refused it, I mean, you know, that's kind of what happened with World War II. We kind of refused. We didn't want to be involved. Europe could do something to make it look like Russia or some proxy of Russia attacked us to get us involved. There's all sorts of possibilities because these things have happened in the past. You know, there's nothing new under the sun, folks. And so the chances of World War III, I think in the next few months, next year, I think are becoming very, very real. And a lot of things is happening. I saw in the news that Russia has increased their drone attacks into Ukraine, but so has Ukraine into Russia. And Ukraine struck a major oil depot deep inside of Russia. So the war itself is still going on. It's just the alliances are changing and the chessboard's changing a little bit. But yeah, I think that things are heating up in a bigger way than probably most people think. And don't just get caught up in the fact that, you know, Trump is a good showman and he's you know, at least says that he's trying to work for peace and all this kind of stuff. Don't get caught up in that because even if that is true and genuine, Trump still can't control it all. And these players in Europe, they're, you know, the things that they would do or could do are quite extensive. And I think that World War III is probably much closer than you think. So you should probably be getting ready for that. I did see one last thing before I get off of here. You know, I've talked about these measles outbreaks, and they look to be pretty big. And yes, a lot of the people that's had the measles in these cases in Texas and other places that's been pretty serious. They also had other issues. You know, they had other illnesses and stuff. But the media is pushing the narrative that most of the deaths and serious illnesses due to the measles are people that were unvaccinated. And I guess yesterday, RFK Jr., Robert Kennedy, came out encouraging people to hurry up and go get it. Go get your stuff. Go get it because it's necessary. So for all of you that thought that he would not be pushing that kind of stuff, his first real order of business is just that. So just thought I'd throw that out there at you. But yeah, things I think are getting quite tense in a lot of areas. And I know again, kind of the showman of Trump kind of clouds over that stuff. It makes it, you know, oh, well, yeah, this is funny. This is cool. Yeah, he gave it to him and stuff. But don't be fooled by what's really happening. And there's a lot of unstable things going on. And I think that a war is becoming more and more likely. So be getting ready for that. Get your houses in order, folks. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.